Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Taurus in January 2020. What is going on, Taurus? How are you guys doing? I hope you are doing well. Ha! Well, I'm back, guys. I was on a little bit of a hiatus for about 2.5, 3 weeks here on the channel. So hopefully you didn't miss me too much, and hopefully you guys are watching now. Anyway, Taurus, Happy New Year to you guys. I hope you guys had an amazing New Year's Eve. I hope you had happy holidays in December and everything like that. I had a great New Year's Eve. I spent it partying with my friends and my family, planned a party for my sister and my friends. It was like a celebration of my sister, but also, just getting together with friends, and it was a really cool time. And I hope everybody who was in attendance enjoyed themselves. Anyway, that's what happened with me. If you can tell also by my voice, I'm a little bit sick. I'm getting over a cold, so please bear with me if I have to pause the video to get a drink of water or cough or something like that. Anyway, guys, welcome back. Here we go. Taurus, shuffle it off camera. That's your main spread there. I'm going to shuffle on camera now for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all the cards are out and they're lying face up on the table, that's when the reading begins. The timestamp is in the description box below if you want to jump ahead. Also down there is the information you need if you want to purchase a personal reading with me. If you have questions on how to place a personal, or if it's unclear or you're not sure of what you're going to get, feel free to email me at the same address asking your question non-tarot related, just about what it is, you might be expecting when you order with me. I will clarify that for you. I'm not going to answer your tarot reading unless you pay me. Anyway, and yeah, so that's down there. Yeah. That's pretty much the spiel, right? Yeah. I got lost in my I had to deal with that a little bit, so that's why I got a little distracted. Anyway, guys, so all that information is down in the description box. And yeah, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment, do all that fun stuff if you haven't done so already, okay? All right, let's get into it. Please show me Taurus's outcome for January 2020. Taurus's outcome in January 2020. Please show me. It's all warm in here. I can't get the temperature right in this house. That's 2, so we're not going to take that. Sorry, we only get 1 for the outcome because I don't want to do 2 cards. I simply don't want to. Outcome for Taurus, please, January 2020. Okay, this one? Yes, thank you. There it goes. Bottom of the deck is the overall energy. Excuse me. Let's flip everything that came face down for you. All right. And let's see what's shaking, shall we? All right, please show me where Taurus is in January 2020. Where's Taurus in January 2020? Please show me. Got it. Wow. Okay. That felt as abrasive as this card indicates. Taurus, coming into January, you come in with the 5 of Wands. Abrasive, aggressive energy. Combative energy with the 5 of Wands. As you can see, we've got people who are in the middle of a tussle, a little bit of a spat, a little bit of fisticuffs, okay? So hopefully it's nothing physical, I know that can be a reality for some people, but I don't like to read that stuff, and I'm not necessarily feeling that, but if you are coming to blows with someone, Godspeed, because I don't support that, but I know it happens. Regardless of the type of argument or disagreement you're in, it's pretty apparent, it's pretty volatile, it's pretty, in your face. If you've got enemies, you've got enemies, and they know you're their enemy, or everybody knows there's bad blood between you and someone else, or you and a couple of people, or whatever. The lines in the sand are absolutely drawn here. And the thing about this 5 of Wands, it flares up, it comes in bursts. So I feel as though this could be long-standing disputes or disagreements that you have with people. This could be family, this could be friends, this could be people you work with. But it feels like recycled energy. And fives are not necessarily about cycles, but that's what this feels like to me. Pardon me. Excuse me. It feels as though you've been around this merry-go-round one too many times already, and one of you or several of you are kind of like, I just want to get off this shit. Like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. But for whatever reason, the connections you have with people, the circumstances that you share with people, it keeps pulling you back in, And don't quote me on this, but I feel like I said that in one of your readings like several months ago. Do not quote me on that. I could be totally wrong. I do not remember my readings at all. But I feel that it could have been for Taurus, that I said something about they keep pulling you back in. I could be wrong, but I'm reminded of that sentiment I had months ago for one of the signs. Regardless, I feel as though feels like there's at least two sides to an argument, but if I'm honest, it feels like maybe 3 or 4. It feels like a family or friendship situation where two people are on one side, one person is in their own defense, or they have their own opinion, another person has their own opinion, and then 3 other people share another opinion or perspective of a situation. It's just like too many cooks in this damn kitchen. Too many people throwing their hat in the ring here. And it's just like an all-out brawl over what? I don't know what this is about, but it's petty, number 5. Okay, 5 doesn't indicate pettiness, but 5 indicates challenges and grief and strife. But it's like it's meant to kind of rattle the cage. A 5 is it's a number of a challenge that needs to be met, and it needs to be conquered. It needs to be overcome. Otherwise, you do sometimes get cycles. It's not about, reciprocal. That's not what 5 is. 8, 6, those are kind of more reciprocal. But the 5 is definitely like, here's the challenge. Are you up for it? And if you say, no, I'm not up for it, then the 5 is like, okay, I'll see you later. I'll be back again sometime in the future because I don't quit. That's the thing about the 5. It's like, it doesn't quit until you make it quit. Not to say that this is exactly what's going on, but you know how sometimes they say, the best way to defeat a bully is to like bully them yourself. It's like that weird kind of energy. It's like this combative bullshit between your friends or your family will not end until you like call a spade basically, and you tell someone about themselves, or you tell someone that you're on to the games that they're playing. The only reason that you're arguing is because you want to see this happen. I'm letting you know I'm not here for it. Something like that. You have to call this person, call these people, whatever. You got to go out there and, start naming names basically, or start, labeling the situation for what it is. This is unnecessary drama. I don't want to be a part of unnecessary drama anymore. I'm too old for it. I'm too tired for it. It's a new year. It's a new me, whatever thing you want to tell these people or tell this person. And then that's when we can get away from this. So I feel as though this is like, again, you've been here before with these people, with that person, whatever. This is old news. You can ignore it, which I think many Tauruses, it feels as though a good portion of you have ignored it. You haven't wanted to address it. People are bringing grief to your doorstep and you don't answer the door. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Who wants to answer the door to drama and grief, right? But like I told you, they might, and you don't answer and they come back tomorrow. Same time. You don't answer the door again, they come back the next day. Same time. So your effort to ignore it, to push it to the side, doesn't stop it. So I feel there's something here that is, say thank you. I'm just straightening the cards, but they're like, you touched it. I'm touching what you're doing. This 4 of Pentacles. Ignoring the situation. I think this is what you have been doing. I don't know that it's necessarily serving you, Taurus, to do this. You can do what you want, Everybody has to live their own life. Everybody makes their own choices. And I don't know the specifics. You might have incredibly great reasons to ignore this strife. But there's someone here, and I'm saying you, Taurus, you could be someone who's bringing grief to somebody else. It's a general reading. It can go any way. But whoever is ignoring, I'm not sure that it ever serves you, because the 4 of Pentacles is a posture of hunkering down and securing oneself and not budging, not being open, not being involved, not being proactive, being very inactive, right? Sometimes that works. If you know an energy is going to blow over and not return, and it's better to stay quiet about something or to remain in place, then yeah, the Four of Pentacles will work. But I'm telling you, something about that 5 is repetitive to me. I feel that this has happened before. And if you continue to ignore it, it'll happen again and again and again. It could be because somebody is hard-headed and they don't want to listen. They don't, some people don't take silence as an answer. Some people take silence as an in-answer or an unanswer, so to speak, quote unquote, unanswer. And so until you tell them no, or till you tell them to get the fuck up out my face, or whatever you need to tell them, they're going to keep coming to your door. They're going to keep bringing these arguments up to you, right? Especially with family and friends. Yeah, I don't deal with that in my life personally, because I simply will not tolerate it. But I know that is a reality for many people. You can spend years having the same disagreements, same arguments with your parents, with your brothers, with your sisters, with your cousins, with your best friends, whatever. And some people never learn. I'm not trying to tell you to get all aggressive with anybody. I'm not trying to tell you to sink to their level, to be as aggressive with them as they are with you. No. But I am telling you, this Four of Pentacles, the ignoring of it is not getting the result that you want either. There's something I feel Taurus needs to do that Taurus doesn't want to do or isn't in the mood to do, which I understand, okay? I understand that energy perfectly well. I don't want to do it, and I'm not going to do it. I cannot be persuaded to do more than what I have done already, or do more than what I am doing right now, which is sitting on my tuchus and just, not answering the door, not answering texts, not answering calls. Somebody has something aggressive to say, I walk out of the room. Sometimes that works. Whoever is in this Five of Wands energy, and that could also be the thing, you might know better than I do. You may have tried all other types of ways, and this is like the fourth or fifth type of solution. This, I'm just going to ignore it. Normally I respond, normally I yell, normally I curse them out, normally I punch them in the stomach. Don't do that. I do not condone violence, but I understand that's how some people roll, right? You may have tried all the other responses, right? So now you're like, I'm just going to let it be. And they still do this, then I understand. Then I understand maybe, you kind of, you're at the end of your rope and this is the last thing that you can do. So I will put that caveat in there for some of you. Some of you have tried every other way and you simply haven't gotten the result that you need or that you want in the situation. And these people or this person persists to be a thorn in your side. Pardon me. Now, that's a whole lot of grief. And I don't know what it's about. They're not giving me a clear answer, I'm going to tell you that. I just know people are upset with each other over things that probably are petty. That probably, you know how sometimes, sometimes in families or in friend circles, like, people don't get along for so long, you forget what the original reason is. They don't get along. It's like lost in everybody's memories, or, memories become skewed and like, the timeline becomes a little blurry. Was it 8 years ago or was it 5 years ago? It's like that. I feel that is potentially what's going on here. And so that could be why you're kind of worn out and you're kind of like, I'm not going to do anything about it, because every time, the holidays just passed. So this could have been, family get-togethers over Christmas, over Thanksgiving, whatever it is. This could have, been like, this has been going on since 1999 and I don't know why. So I'm just going to take my plate of food, go into the den, and I'm going to eat in silence by myself while my family is in the other room hashing it out and throwing glassware at each other. I understand. So there's a fatigue here for somebody. Now, this is very interesting because I don't know how it plays into these other 4 cards, really. So let's see. What else happens here for Taurus? Please show me. Yeah, man, you're just like whatever about it. Now I see it. Okay. So it could be... That's interesting. Could be fighting about a kid, a child, or, and I say a kid as in to say a young person. I don't think like a baby. I don't think this is like a new thing. But there could be a fight over a kid. Page of Wands, right? Fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You could be dealing with fire signs, or there could be a child who is a fire sign. It doesn't really have to be. So when I say a kid, again, I'm thinking like toddler and up, or even like up to like teenager or young adult. I'm not thinking a newborn, yeah? But there could be a fight over the presence of a child, the way a child is being raised, the way a child is behaving, the way a child is performing in school or acting out or whatever. There's some criticism about a kid, either in the situation, like being present at the moment, you know, how some people, you know, and I understand, you know, don't yell in front of the kids. I get it. Or we can't discuss this now in front of the child. Something like that. Or the argument is based on what happens involving the child. If it's not about a kid specifically, it's about new energy that is childlike or young in its appearance, in its behavior. Meaning, someone has an issue with someone else's behavior. You're acting like a child. You are behaving like a teenager. Okay, there we go. So that could be like a criticism coming from, I don't know, you know, I can go by my analytics. I think most people are my age about that watch my channel. So between the late 20s and early 40s, right? So, excuse me. That could be criticism coming from your parents, you know, over the holidays, or, you know, even just any old conversation you have. You know, you might go out and dye your hair, you might go out and get a new tattoo, or you might go out and pierce something on your body, and you post it on your Instagram, or you put it up on Facebook, and then 5 minutes later, your mom's calling you, "What have you done to your hair? You're acting like a teenager. You must be out of your mind, Bethany. You're 46 years old." And it's like, it's this. If you could see me, I'm shrugging the shit out of my shoulders. Like, and? You know, what else is new? Like, what else do you have to complain about here? I'm making choices. Again, if this is not about a child, this would be about someone behaving, quote unquote, like a child in the eyes of someone else. And it's like, you know, are you ever gonna not criticize me? Are you ever not gonna criticize my choices? Are you ever not going to criticize how I find happiness in my life? Whatever it is. There's something about the, maybe not tenacity, because, again, we're here talking about this Page of Wands. There's something about the spirited energy, like a sprite-like. Not sprite-like. Yeah, sprite, yeah. Yeah, sprite. I was like, fairy? No, sprite. Sprite-like energy of this page, which is enthusiastic, joyful to a certain extent, maybe a little mischievous, maybe a little naughty, maybe a little bit of a prankster or something like that, and maybe a little bit of a risk taker, you know? This Page of Wands might often bite off more than they can chew, but the spirit and the gumption and the can-do attitude, sort of, that this person has, whether it be, again, a child, a teenager, or yourself, a 50-year-old, I don't care, whoever this person is, they might take on more than they can handle, or that might be how it looks to other people. But because this person has such a fire in their belly to get it done, they're going to get it done. That's where tenacity comes in. I'm like, I didn't agree with that word when I first said it, but I'm bringing it back. Tenacity. This person will see themselves through any dire situation. They will see themselves through any kind of troublesome situation. And not to say they're going to be victorious or that they're going to come out on top, but they're just going to make it work. You know, there's like a MacGyver energy when you talk about the Page of Wands or the Knight of Wands or even the Queen or King of Wands. There's a, I'm going to make it happen. There's an assurance, a self-assurance with this person's energy. Whether it be you or someone else, Taurus, I don't really care. It's a general, you know. If that's you, you know it. If it's your cousin, you know it. If it's your daughter or your son, you know it. Somebody or some people are disagreeing with this person's presence or the way they're behaving or the way that they're conducting themselves, whether they're an adult or a child or whatever. Another person is just like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to get involved in critiquing that person. Or I don't want to be the person who's constantly critiqued. So I'm just going to sit here in silence and let you go ahead and bitch and moan until you run out of breath, like I'm about to do. Excuse me. Now, this page of... okay. This page... okay. Might be... I just said that. Taking on more than they can handle, right? I said something like that. Bite off more than you can chew? Whatever cliched phrase I was using. Seven of Wands right behind them. So this could be how the Page of Wands feels on the inside. Whether it's you or someone else, Taurus, I don't know. Seven of Wands is a defensive posture, as you can see. Look how tired that one looks up there on the mountain, right? With the one single pocky stick, or pepero, if you like the Korean version. Pepero. Anyway, just this one wand dipped in chocolate, right, to defend off these other 6 wands at the bottom. It feels as though the Page of Wands, if not the page themselves, then someone close to the page, a friend, a colleague, a lover, a best friend, it doesn't matter. But whoever this person is, whether it's one and the same here or 2 separate people, somebody is definitely beyond tired. Like, this is like no contest over here. Four of Pentacles is like, wash your hands, walk away, right? This is somebody who stays in the fight and like is like backed into a corner, like almost to the point where they're being attacked, like dogpiled, this person. And so if this is the same person, 7 of Pentacles and Page of Pentacles, or excuse me, 7 of Wands and 7 of Wands and Page of Wands, thank you. If that's the same person, they put on a brave face as much as they can. So that could be, it could just be a smiley emoji in response to, you dyed your hair, you got another tattoo, you spent $1,000 where, whatever, whoever's critiquing you for whatever reason, it could just be a smiley emoji in response, or an LOL, haha, I guess I'm kind of silly right now, That's the Page of Wands on the surface. Inside, it's like, oh God, here we go again. I can't do what I want with my life. How come everybody's against me? All I want to do is live my life. All I want to do is express myself. All I want to do is spend my money how I want to spend it. Blah, 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 blah. Whether that's good or bad, I don't know. I'm not here to pick sides. But it feels as though someone is on the ropes, someone's on the defensive, someone is on their heels, and possibly the same person is out there kind of smiling in the face of the haters, smiling in the face of people who are critiquing them, as in to not give up or give sign that they're exhausted, that they're kind of, feeling defeated. So I feel like there's a real, I don't know who this is now. I'm sensing, this is at least between 2 people, but I'm sensing upwards of 5 or 6. Like a family friendship dynamic is going on here. And I can't really keep track of all the players. But we have the central energy, again, where you started, is this combative thing, right? Then we have someone who's no contest. I don't want to be involved. I'm just going to walk away. I'm just going to ignore text. I'm not going to return phone calls. Then we have somebody who's smiling in the face of adversity. And then another person, potentially another person who's just sort of bruised and battered almost, or they are constantly defending themselves, or constantly feeling like they're being berated, or receiving just onslaught of insults, onslaught of critique, onslaught. Just like this person is under a never-ending source of strife, of contention, yeah? Furthermore, we have some more energies that I think might just be talking about the situation in general, but I'm not exactly sure just yet. Yes, okay, this is, oh God. 10 of Cups. So, happy family. This is the happily ever after in the tarot, or how I sometimes phrase it, the happily ever after. You see the family playing in the meadow. Everybody's, I mean, besides this being the happy deck, everybody's just looking, you know, plum and peachy, yeah? I feel as though there are too many versions of this, meaning, because I was just explaining how there are so many cooks in this kitchen, right? So many different players involved here. What this actually looks like is going to be different for everybody involved. If this is about critiquing a teenager or critiquing a young adult or whatever it is, right? They're out there making their life decisions. You know, maybe somebody's an Instagram model and grandma gets wind of this and grandma says, well, what's an Instagram model? I don't know what that is. And you show grandma what an Instagram model is all about. Now, to the young Page of Wands person, they're like, oh my God, I'm living my best life. I'm showing my, you know, bikini on Instagram, or I'm, you know, I'm being endorsed and I'm being paid to do all this stuff and I'm making a life for myself. I'm traveling, I'm seeing the world, blah, 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 blah. Grandma's like, but no, that's not what a happy family, no, no, no. So it's like different people have different perspectives of what it means to be a happy family. For the Page, it's making individualistic expressions or individualistic choices that show who they are. That serve their expression, their self-expression, yeah? They're creative, they're adventurous, they're maybe a little opinionated. I'm not gonna lie, the Page can be a little opinionated, okay? And then you've got people who maybe are maybe a little bit more traditional, or they have a different way of viewing what the Page of Wands should be doing. Then you have this person who's no contest, and they are just, you know, what I think a happy family is, where we're all mutes. We all live in this place like we're Helen Keller. Nobody talks. Everybody just shuts the fuck up. You know? So everybody has a different version of what this Ten of Cups is. I find, energetically, it's kind of almost irreconcilable, Taurus, if I'm honest. I don't know who you are here. You know your life better than I do, so you plug yourself into whoever you're supposed to be on this board. But I feel that there's too many cooks, too many people involved for there to be a copacetic Ten of Cups available. Now, you're the person I'm talking to, primarily. Crosswatch, if you're here, I'm sorry, but I'm going to talk to Taurus right now. Taurus, whatever your version of Ten of Cups is, if you're the old fuddy-duddy and you think everybody should be clothed down to the ankle, great. Pursue that. Go for that. If you're the young Page of Wands person and you're like, I'm living my best life out here on Instagram, doing all these, you know, promos and everything like that, using my body and my beauty the way that I want to, great, do that. Whoever is listening to this message, I personally, on my channel, and for what I'm feeling in this message, you cannot continue to expect other people to fit your mold. If your mold involves a new set of friends, if your mold involves less holidays spent with the family, because every time you come around and you have a new haircut, or if you have new piercings and tattoos and it evolves into a huge argument, if you need to skip the party, if you need to skip the gathering in order to make your life happy, do that. I feel if you have, that's the other thing that I really didn't touch too much on, but, you know, given that this is, you know, showing parents and children, if you are an adult and you are raising your own children, but your own parents are critiquing your way of parenting, if you have to lay down some firm boundaries with your parents, you will not say this about me in front of my kids, you will not do, you know, it comes down to even like little dietary things. I already told you, we live in a sugar-free house. Every time I send my kids over to your house and you babysit for them, you feed them chocolate and all kinds of crazy shit. I told you, we don't raise our kids that way. So until you adhere to this, you won't see my kid. I'm not anybody's therapist or anything like that, but that's what I feel here. There's too many different perspectives for this to be shared among the same group of people. You all kind of have to take your version of the Ten of Cups and make it a priority, if that's your goal. I feel that it is a goal because it sits right next to the Chariot. I feel that the Chariot always moves towards what is enhancing for the life, what is a goal, what is a well, sort of like a stepping stone, but what is a sort of a milestone. Thank you. A milestone in the life. Excuse me for coughing, by the way. So this Chariot, hold on, let me go ahead and clear this out. 1 second. Okay, Taurus, I apologize about that. Now, this Chariot card, major arcana for Cancer, so there might be a Cancer in your life of significance, but doesn't have to be. Oh my God, come on. The Chariot, again, moves towards goals and milestones, moves us on a path that is, for the most part, for our highest good. Now, I told you, we're dealing with several different people here. At least 2 of you are at odds with each other, right? How many people are driving this Chariot? Just 1. How many roads? Well, there isn't one here, but if you look at other depictions of the Chariot, it's usually traveling on one solid road, not several roads. This isn't like, like a multi-lane highway. It's one way, right? So 1 person, 1 way. You all can't have the same path in life. You can't all move towards the same depiction of happiness, contentment, and fulfillment within a family situation. And I'm not trying to sit here and say and be the advocate for breaking up families or breaking up happy homes. No, what I'm saying is what it feels like is there might be cultural differences, there might be differences amongst generations, there might be differences amongst people in their lifestyle choices or the ways that they choose to express themselves. There is something here where on a revolving schedule, something that comes up regularly because of family get-togethers, because of, the day of the week. Oh, it's Thursday. Here comes my Uncle Ted, and he's going to start bossing me around or whatever. There is a residual and revolving schedule that sees people constantly coming at odds with each other. If you don't want that to continue, someone here has to make an executive decision to either, again, call a spade. You're trying to control my life, Mom and Dad. You're trying to tell me how to raise my kids, Aunt Jimmy. Sure, Aunt Jimmy. It doesn't matter. But whatever. If you're not going to confront the situation and call a spade and call people out on their actions, you then have to make an executive decision again and move towards your goal by yourself. I'm not here to advocate all the time about severing relationships, but if you know me in my personal life, which most of you do not, I don't suffer fools. I'm all about that, because that's part of why I started this channel. It's part of, I guess I should really put it somewhere. It's sort of like a mission statement. I'm here to enhance, not even enhance, but I'm here to encourage people to really serve the self. Because if you don't do well by yourself, not well by yourself as in alone, but well to yourself. If you don't treat yourself well, if you don't make yourself happy, if you don't pursue your own goals, if you don't prioritize your own happiness and contentment, no one else will. I don't care if you have 15 kids. I don't care if you're solo dolo. I don't care any of your entanglements. If you don't serve the self, make yourself happy, put yourself as a priority, make your goals and your wishes and your dreams a priority, which is a part of what the Chariot does. Dreams, priority. Wishes, priority. Solo path of what I need to enlighten myself, to enrich myself. That is part of what the Chariot does. Nobody else is in charge of that but you, Taurus. And I feel I've had to tell Taurus this a few times back in 2019. If you don't prioritize yourself, who else is going to do it? I'm not trying to be a bitch. I'm not trying to say, give your mom and dad the bird and never speak to them again in your life. If that's what you want to do, you may do that. But I'm not saying that is the only way to do it. But if you want to plead no contest, or you want to continually get wrapped up in this and not really ever come to a practical solution, then you're just going to circle the drain. And you're going to be suffering like this over and over and over again. Out come Taurus. 3 of Cups. Well, go on down and have yourself a couple of shots at the bar. Or, a margarita or 2. Whatever you're into. 3 of Cups is a card about celebration. It is a card about, levity and good times had by all, right? Excuse me, I apologize. So that's definitely here for some of you. The outcome that you will choose is to kind of, laugh your pain away, or laugh the hard times away, drink the hard times away, and that's fine. I'm not calling anybody an alcoholic. I don't feel that's what this is. This is not about substance abuse. This is about, for the moment, putting all that hardship to the side, or not wanting to necessarily face the problems. For some of you. Others of you, this could be after you choose your path, choose your action, you feel a little bit alleviated. You know, could be not even necessarily, it doesn't have to escalate to a huge blowout. It could be a civil discourse, civil discussion that you have with whoever you're in disagreement with. It could go that route. And if it does, you guys might, you know, end up having drinks together. Like, you know, oh man, this was just down to a misunderstanding. Or the only reason I was so critical of you doing that to your body, or you showing yourself off on the internet, or you dyeing your hair, you know, 15 different colors within a year, is because, you know, I was concerned about, you know, the prospects of a job. And again, I don't know it myself, but perhaps all it takes for the older generation to understand about the younger generation's way of making a life, making a living, is like, okay, well, here's the thing. If I dye my hair like this, and if I wear these clothes, and if I take these pictures, I'm endorsed by, or I'm sponsored by this, that, and the other company, right? And here's what they do. They provide me with this, they provide me with that, they give me that, they give me that, they give me that. I make more money doing this stuff, which you think is salacious, which you think is kind of, you know, quote unquote, slutty, whatever, and I'm able to support myself way better than I was when I was doing my 9-to-5 gig. Now, the older generation, they might not understand that. They might not even believe you. And they still will have their concerns over your safety and the virtue of whatever they believe you're supposed to have virtue pertaining to, right? But you might find a common ground in just trying to explain it to them step by step by step by step by step, you know? So we get to this point where after some arguments, maybe some of you are able to bury the hatchet. Maybe some of you are able to look past your differences, or your different perspectives, your different ideas of what is normal, or ideas of what is acceptable in a relationship, in a family dynamic, in a business, or for a profession, I should say. Whatever it is, there's potentially, for a good portion of you, happier times ahead. Others of you, this is just, I don't even want to deal with any BS. I'm just going to go out and ignore my problems because I don't want to deal with it. I told you that earlier here, and I think also with the page maybe, but mostly here with the Four of Pentacles. Some of you are not in the mood to address anything. And that's your right. You know, we all have our own dispositions. We all have our different sensibilities. So that's going to play out in different ways for all of you. Regardless, it's happier than anything that I see. Well, I shouldn't say it's happier, but it's happier than that and that and that. So at least half of your main board, hopefully you're going to be in a happier mood, even if it's just temporary, even if it's just, you know, going out for happy hour because, you know, for the last 2 hours while you were at work, you were on the phone with your mom, you know, again, talking her off a ledge about something that your kid did on their Facebook page. And it's just like, why are you calling me about my adult son's, my 28-year-old son's face? You know, it's like, I need a drink. I need a drink. Yeah. Overall energy, Taurus, for January. 6 of Cups. So here's the historical aspect here, where this is going back many years in many of your family and friendship circles. Okay, 6 of Cups talks about nostalgia, talks about things from childhood, talks about things from yesteryear, right? It can, you know, in tarot be talking about soulmates, and in some, you know, I don't feel it strongly here, but I will say it because I think it fulfills what I personally use soulmate as. Soulmates don't have to be romantic partners. Soulmates can be your family and your friends, very platonic relationships. So some of you, this might be significant because you have an entanglement with someone who is a soulmate, but they're your friend or your family member, okay? I'm really not feeling like much of a romantic thing here for anybody, but if it fits, that also works for you too. But more to the point, it's about what has been going on historically in this family line, in this relationship with your friends. It's been going on for years in many of your cases, years. And I think it's hard to combat because the thing about the 6 of Cups is it is a significant connection. It's a significant entanglement. It actually comes with a lot of joy and happiness. Again, we see it in the Three of Cups. We see it a little bit with the Ten of Cups on the board, as well as the spirited and very optimistic outlook of the Page of Wands. So there is positive energy here, Taurus, but it is so enmeshed and so entangled with less positive, more contentious energy. I don't want to say negative, because I don't think it's negative. I think it's just really a lot of strife and a lot of contention and a lot of friction, where possibly there doesn't need to be friction, but friction persists. And again, like I told you, the reciprocated energies, or the energy of reciprocation, comes in the form of 6s and 8s. Yeah? So here you have a 6, reciprocated. This is repeated. This is as much as it's strife and annoying to you, it's annoying to someone else. You both share in it, or at least, at least 2 of you share in it. It's probably more than 2 people. But, and the history of it is really what's complicating this for you. Because, Taurus, you're a loyal sign, fixed sign energy and earth. Very loyal, very much sentimental, very much hard to really cut ties. I would say, Taurus, when you care about someone, when you love someone, it's really hard for you to cut an actual tie, like to the bone, snip all the way through. I would think many of you would find this challenging. So that's why I'm telling you, it doesn't work for you like it works for me, the Leo. Leo says, oh, I'm done, and I'm done. And I meant that shit. Taurus says, I'm done. See me in 6 months. I might not be so done, So, but, and that's just a generalization. Some of you are very much able to cut those ties. And I'm not advocating that. I'm not saying that is the only answer, the only solution, the only route to take. No. Some of you will take that route. Some of you will not, okay? Taurus, that is your reading for January. If you liked it, the like button is below. Go ahead and hit that for me. It'll let me know that you liked the content here. You can leave a comment. Let me know how this resonated. If it did, I'd love to read those. Of course, you can share this if you please, and let other people know that you like my stuff. And if you have not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, guys. It would be amazing. All right, Taurus, I'll be back soon to do the mids. I'll come back. Maybe I'll do the non-communication readings in January. I'm not sure if I'm going to have the time. But eventually I will do that as well. And yeah, that's what you have to look forward to for me. Your season will come up later in this year for your birthday and all that good stuff. So again, if you're subscribed, you'll be notified of that as long as you hit the notification bell, okay? All right, Taurus, I thank you so much for taking your time to watch this video. Take care. Bye.